Okay, I understand what these guys are doing. Greetings, friends. It's Josh.
And I'm Ryan.
And this is Daniel.
And we're here on the Dead Tired Dads podcast, which is a podcast for gamers who don't have time to game. We had a unicorn on our last episode where we had all four of us together. The quadrio has been broken. It's back down to the just the three of us. So
Just the three of... Oh, dang it.
that doesn't quite work. And we don't want any copyright strikes. Be careful. So welcome back. We're glad to have you here. Glad to be here myself. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm tired, Josh.
You're tired? Daniel, how you doing?
Josh, I'm tired.
Okay, that's good. It fits with the theme. We are the Dead Tired Dads. So I had a thought the other day that I found very interesting, and you guys can tell me if I'm out to lunch here or if this is not an interesting thought and we can move on. But Finding Nemo, the movie Finding Nemo.
I'm intrigued already.
Okay, that's good. You should be. Probably not. This is Finding Nemo is the plot of Bambi in reverse. So in Bambi, the mom dies. Spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. The mom dies, and then the whole movie is about the kid trying to like find his place and find his dad, right?
Okay.
Finding Nemo, the mom dies. Spoiler alert. Along with all of their other kids. But, you know, and he's left with the one kid. The kid disappears. And then it's the dad's journey to find the child. It's they literally, Pixar was like, hey, you remember that movie Bambi? Let's just remake it. But we can't just remake it because that's not what we do. At least not at that point in time. They didn't just do that. Disney.
Make it fish and make it in reverse.
Make it fish and do it in reverse.
It'll sell like hotcakes.
This makes a weird amount of sense.
I know, right?
Oh, I feel weird about this.
I think you're onto something here, Josh.
I don't know. I had this thought the other day and it just stuck with me. So
I think you're onto something.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not. But I feel like Finding Nemo is just Bambi in reverse. So there's that. That's my...
I like it. I like this theory.
I think you're onto something.
That's good to hear. It's good to hear. Someday we're gonna have... See, we've started a reputation for ourselves now of being on the forefront of these kinds of things. So what's going to happen now is in like 5 years, someone's going to come out and be like, yeah, like John Lasseter, he came to me and he said, look, we're gonna make Bambi, but we're gonna do it from the perspective of the dad.
And we're gonna have the scoop.
It's gonna be a
Be
whole.
there.
And we would have said it 5 years ago.
It's gonna be a whole documentary too.
Yeah,
about how
absolutely.
This process played out.
And then someone's gonna call us and be like, "How did you know?" And be like, "I just knew.
We just knew.
We were on the cutting edge the whole time.
We've always known.
Always know.
We've always known." Oh man, I don't know.
Are we the video game podcast for gamers that don't have time to game?
We are, but we also
Now
don't
we're
have
doing Pixar today, guys.
we also don't have time to have fan theories about Pixar videos and Disney films. Oh, good gracious! I've never actually watched Bambi. I don't think all the way through, but that's just because. So anyway. Daniel, you also had a funny story that you were telling us that I think you need to share.
Yeah, I run a tabletop game once a week, and you know I take it very seriously. It's important to me. And the other night I was sitting there around the table with my players, and I quite literally fall asleep in the middle of the session that I'm running.
So
It was great.
So
Yeah.
I've never actually played like a tabletop Dungeons and Dragons type game. So you are the dungeon master though, right? You are the one who is like giving directions about what's happening.
Yeah.
And you fall asleep. So had someone rolled for like apathy or
think I was rolling for apathy. So no, what happened was is like we had like a pause in active gameplay for some lore tabletop. We're branching into unfamiliar territory, and we're doing a little bit of a democratic homebrew, and we were trying to decide how we wanted to play this culture, how we wanted to, deal with their religion and their government and their like in relations with other societies. It was really a very satisfying conclusion to that talk. However, I was very much overtaxed by that point, and I was just out of it.
That's amazing.
Players had fun. I got some ribbing after.
Hey,
rightly so.
Quick power nap in the middle of a campaign always helps.
Sure, why not?
Master Chief, I'm sure, had to at some point stop and take a nap, right? It has to happen sometime.
But
maybe not. I guess Link is just constantly running through Hyrule Field. Yeah, just rolling. If you're playing on Ocarina of Time, trying to get to Castletown before the sun goes down.
We don't have time to walk it. We got places to be, naps to take. So no, seriously, if you all are interested in making sure that you have space in your life for your hobbies, this is the right place to be. You are among friends, and we're happy to have you.
Yeah, and you can even take a nap while you're listening.
Absolutely, we support that.
Please do, and come back and you'll have to re-listen to the episode. That would be great. You don't want to miss out on anything that happens here. That's for sure. Ryan, do you have anything fun and interesting going on these days?
Not really.
No, Ryan is still boring.
I'm boring.
Ryan is still boring. Got it.
In fact, I'm kind of even like bored with my own review that I'm gonna give.
Oh, good
today.
gracious!
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, that being the case, I can't. I'm riveted.
My review is when people should take their nap.
Okay, I am riveted. Let's hear it.
Oh, you want me to jump right into it?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's dive right in.
I'm gonna do something that I really hate to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to a game that I've already reviewed.
Okay.
Because there have been at least 2 expansions and additional content.
Okay.
That have been released, and it's not that they're boring. I'm actually enjoying them, and I think they're worth talking about. So, I mentioned 2 news episodes ago.
Okay.
Palworld.
Yes, Palworld.
Okay.
I've gone back to playing Palworld.
Yes, because we were talking about the Nintendo lawsuits.
Right.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
So
I'm with you.
I started playing it again because since I last played it, it's had 2, I'm going to call them major content releases.
Okay.
And if you're not familiar with the game at all, it takes place, you wake up on an island, and as we've said before, it's essentially Pokemon with guns.
Yes.
You craft bases, and you can be attacked by wild pals, not Pokemon.
Those crazy pals. Excuse you.
So there is a bit of a story. You can find these notes and these like journal entries as to like what happened and why you're on this island and stuff.
Okay.
Well, the 2 new, I can't call them expansions, additional content. They add 2 more islands.
Oh.
That you can travel to that are off the coast of the main island.
Okay.
So both of those added some more. They're called tower bosses. These towers that you go to and fight like big bosses. They added some new stuff that you can craft, some new weapons, some new armor. They added a lot for automation to like make your base more automated, which I think is really cool because I spent so much time like I would go out and explore the world, then I'd have to come back and upkeep and maintain my base. So the automation lets you adventure more.
Gotcha.
So the big thing and the reason why I thought, because I was really torn on, do I go back and talk about a game I've already talked about? And the reason I decided to is both of these extra contents are completely free.
Oh.
Like, no charge.
Okay.
Well, the game itself is free on Game Pass.
It is on Game Pass, or if you don't have Game Pass, you can buy it for $30, although it's on sale right now, I believe, for $20.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
At the recording of this episode on sale.
Correct. Yes, good point. So yeah, I just thought, like, at most what you would pay is $30 for this game, and they've given they're major updates. Like, they're not small things.
And they're being sued constantly right now.
Yes, so it's like, how are they doing that?
Good for them.
So yeah, so both are entirely free. They also just fairly recently had a major update, not for more content, but what they did is they added a couple things that I think are impressive. Because there is co-op if you want to play this game co-op.
Okay.
They added crossplay, so now you can, if you have it on Xbox and your buddy has it on Steam or whatever,
That's awesome.
You can play together, which I think is really
amazing.
cool. You can get dedicated online servers now, to where it used to be that, like, one person had to be the host of the co-op game. Now there are dedicated servers, so that, let's just say I was the host before, I had to be on for you to get on and play.
But now it's a dedicated server. You can
get on even if I can't.
Gotcha.
And continue playing our multiplayer game.
That's awesome.
So that's really cool.
Yeah, that is great.
And again, this is all just updates that are free.
That was something I ran into with Satisfactory back when I was playing that a lot. That was a very early review that I did with Satisfactory. But you could play multiplayer, but in order for, like, there wasn't a dedicated server. Like, the host had to be on. And so, like, if you wanted to play multiplayer, it was very challenging to continue to build.
You gotta have friends, you gotta have timing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
that's really cool.
I've got two good friends that have been playing this, and they've been playing co-op together, but they live in a different time zone than me, and so it just almost never works out that we can...
Unless one of you just wants to leave on your console.
Exactly.
All
Which
night.
we were talking about. He was like, hey, I could just leave my console on. And I was like, that seems excessive.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. So I'm going to pause you there because I've got a story that goes along with that.
I like stories.
Because I have my Xbox in a cabinet, which is probably not a good idea. But at one point, I had shut the cabinet doors. And was playing... And I had left it on. I had left the console on while I went and did something.
Yeah.
And I came back and I heard this.
Your Xbox was mad.
And I was like, oh, and I opened up the cabinet door and it was just like fire coming out. It felt like it was just heat coming right out of the cabinet. It was
quite
warm.
So
bad. Yeah. So do not do that. Don't close your cabinet doors on your Xbox. So probably don't leave your Xbox on for 24/7. So
just to play
Palworld. That sounds like a bad idea.
So like, we've been wanting to play this game co-op together, but just hasn't worked out. And so this is just a cool way that you can do that.
Absolutely.
Another thing they added in that update was, before you couldn't. Like, for example, in my single-player game, I'm max level. I've got some of the better, more stronger weapons and stuff. But in order to play multiplayer, you start a whole new game.
Oh, jeez.
So you start over at level 1.
Right.
Well, one of the updates was you could bring over your stuff with you. So it's like you don't have to grind all that stuff again just to play with your buddy.
Well, yeah, that would make it really challenging, I feel, to play multiplayer on that.
Because they do have quite a bit of end-game content and raids and stuff. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's just stuff that would be more fun to do with some friends.
Sure.
But I'm not gonna, like, grind all the way back up.
Exactly.
Just to do the end-game stuff.
Exactly.
So it opened that up as a thing I can actually do now.
That's awesome. That is really cool.
They've also announced, if you've not played the game, anywhere you are on the island, just about anywhere you are on the island, off in the distance, you can see this huge, massive, like, grape tree. But you've never been able to get to it. And they recently put out a little teaser trailer that, like, the next content update is going to be that. So, like, they have future plans for more content. So, anyway, and again, all completely free, which impressed me.
For sure.
I actually, just to go back to that story about them being sued, I mentioned how I was frustrated by that, and then they put out some of this free content. I actually went ahead and bought the game.
Oh, nice.
Just to say, like, hey, you know, I'm going to support this.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. So that's you make an interesting point with the amount of updates and things like that they're doing. I make a big deal on this podcast about games needing to have physical copies, and I have a real problem with the way that a lot of games develop things and not putting out complete things and then releasing DLC and making you pay, and I think that overall that has created an environment that is bad.
Yeah.
But this is actually a really good use of that. Like, let's put out a game. Like, we've got the core game.
Right.
Let's put it out. We've got other things that we want to create and develop and push out beyond that. And that's part of the game.
Right.
But we're not there yet. We want to get the game out into people's hands, and and we can release the rest of the stuff as we go.
Yeah.
And that's a cool thing to do, as long as you're not doing it as a, EA Sports kind of thing.
Right.
So that's, or maybe not EA Sports. Maybe that's a bad example of that kind of thing. I'm trying to think of another, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Maybe a better.
Just that whole concept of, like, essentially releasing something unfinished.
Yeah.
And then charging you later for more stuff. It's like,
right.
Wait, you didn't finish the original game.
Or charging you for, here's the collector's edition with this DLC included.
Yeah,
and it's like,
exactly.
Well, if that's part of the game, why isn't it included in all of it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because we hate you. Sincerely, the developers.
I think they just need money, and that's the ecosystem that they find themselves in.
What's funny about Palworld is, to this day, it's technically not released yet. It's a beta version.
It's still a beta, yeah.
So it's like you log in and you still get a warning that...
yeah.
Wow, that feels like Minecraft.
Yeah, that's a very similar feeling. Like, it pops up this warning that says, like, this is still a beta version and not the released final product.
Right.
And
well, and yeah, I think
right.
Satisfactory did that for when I was playing that. I think they did that as well, where they were just like, we're releasing updates constantly, and so yeah, that's cool.
So
I'm
having a ton of fun with it. Like I said, the automated base thing really was a big, like, quality of life improvement for me.
Yeah,
because I felt like I spent so much time. I'd go out and do one thing and then have to rush back because they were out of food or they were being attacked or whatever, and it's like, this would be a lot more fun if I could not
just
go to my base every 10 minutes. But
sure. So with that, you don't have Game Pass currently.
I do not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you're able to play online still.
No. So I will have to sign up for Game Pass to play online. So
gotcha.
I'll be doing that. By the time people have heard this episode, I will have signed up for Game Pass and started playing online.
Excellent. That means that we can also play online.
Correct.
Yay! I'm excited. We'll have to do that. So cool. Good stuff. Palworld. Still good.
Still fun.
Still fun. That's awesome. So I'm going to go back to, I guess it's my turn to do my review.
Yep.
I'm going to go back to a tried and true franchise here that I've talked a lot about recently.
Yep.
Here we go. Metroid. Yay!
Hey!
Josh is playing Metroid again.
Wait, we're all shocked. Josh, explain yourself. Oh, wait, hold on. Never mind. This tracks.
Yeah.
You're good.
No, absolutely. So I've been playing Metroid Prime 3 because Metroid Prime 4 is coming out in June.
That's right.
At least
you better be ready.
That's the hope as of the recording. We still don't have confirmation on that as of the recording of this. So I'm assuming that it's coming out at launch with Switch 2 still. So
that'd be amazing.
And we'll know for sure by the time this releases.
Soon.
By the time this releases, we'll know for sure probably.
Yep.
But Metroid Prime 4, I want to be ready for it, so I'm playing through Metroid Prime 3, Corruption, which was a Wii game. So here's the thing: it's got the motion controls. It's point and shoot. So they actually did a really good job with it. It's my second time playing through this game. I've actually only played through it one time when it first released, when I first had it. I love it.
You say that. I only played through it one time. Like
Metroid Prime 3, I've only played
what's
through
wrong
once.
with that?
Nothing. Nothing's wrong with that. Except that I've played through Metroid Prime like 6 times. And Metroid Prime 2 twice now. So Metroid Prime 3 was just one of those... Here's what would happen. I would play through Metroid Prime and start playing through Metroid Prime 2 and get frustrated and be like, I hate this one. And not be able to move on, like not be able to beat it
3.
to get to 3.
Yeah.
So because of this podcast actually, and because of all of the things that have been going on with Metroid Prime over the last year, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna play through all 3 of them, and I really do enjoy the motion controls, the point and shoot, the aiming, and all of that. And I talked about that with how they did that for the Metroid Prime trilogy for Metroid Prime 2 and how it really maps well with that. I think they added so much stuff with the motion controls. Some of it works well, some of it not so much. But overall, it's a really good experience. It's a great experience. They added a lot of really neat tools and weapons for Samus to pick up through her journey, which is a lot of fun. One of the other things that they did most of the time not most of the time, in most other, as far as I know, in every other Metroid game, you end up on a planet or a place, and you're basically on that planet or place, and you take elevators or transports to different places on the planet.
Right.
You actually travel to different planets.
Oh, that's cool.
In this game, which is really cool. Now, it is still kind of the same thing. You've got kind of your lava world. You've got, the environments are kind of still there, but it does add a different feel because you get access to Samus's ship.
Which is awesome.
Which is cool. This is actually a cool thing, but it is also a detriment to the game, unfortunately. And it's only a detriment to the game because they do not take advantage of it in the way that I feel like they could have.
Come on, guys, you got a ship.
Yeah. So one of the cool things with Samus's ship is that it functions as a save station and there are different places that you can call, like if you find a landing zone, you can call your ship there.
Oh, yeah.
And your ship lands there. And now you've got an automatic save station and energy and weapons refuel.
Right.
So
can I make a confession?
Yes.
Metroid Prime 3 is the only Metroid game that I've ever played, other than the Super Nintendo one, Super Metroid.
Yes.
I actually didn't know that the ship wasn't in all the games.
I mean, the ship is in all the games,
No,
but
like,
you can't. But you can't do anything with it.
Like I thought that was just like.
Yeah.
Like I really did have this idea of like Metroid's like Mass Effect, but like
that's just how it works in all the games.
Yeah. No, most of the time you're just on a planet, and you go to different areas of the planet, and there are different environments, on the planet. But so yeah, I think that they did a really good job introducing it. I wish that they had done more with it. I wish you were able to. I would love to have like a Metroid space battle, like to have like Samus flying.
Yeah, fight some space pirates.
Let's do it. Like let's have some dog fights. That would be awesome. And there's so many things in the ship that you can do. Like you can put up like shields and things like that. But it doesn't do anything.
But why?
Why?
Yeah.
Like, why is this here? Why is this a feature? And it's literally just to show off the motion controls, it feels like, to some extent. Because you are the one that's, like, pointing, and Samus's hand is there, and you're pushing buttons. And so it's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
But it's kind of pointless. So, yeah, I think overall it's still a great game. I haven't beaten it. And I haven't beaten it because my son found Metroid Dread. And I had been playing Metroid Prime 3, and he found Metroid Dread. And I'm on the last fight. Like, I'm at the final boss. I'm fighting Dark Samus. And he's like, Dad, I want you to play this Metroid. I want you to play this Samus. This one. And eventually, I was just like, fine.
All right. Fine.
So I started playing Metroid Dread again. For like the 6th time. Because
that's just crazy.
that game is so good.
It is so good, and it also is so rage-inducing.
It is. I started this one on hard.
Okay, all right. That's just, you have a problem.
So I've played through it multiple times on normal. I was just like, I'm just playing through it. You know, I didn't think I was gonna like actually play through the game. Like I thought I was just gonna play it for for my son's sake. Now it's all he wants me to play.
Do it again, Father.
Please, sir. But that's the other thing with. So right now my kids are obsessed with Metroid and like playing Samus.
Yeah.
I am free. By the way, my arm is fully healed.
It is. I didn't even notice.
So I don't have to wear my brace anymore.
No cast.
Feels much less like a bounty hunter now.
I literally did not notice. I've been sitting here next to you and didn't notice.
My kids are running around with my brace, pretending it's Samus's gun, like they're carrying it on their arm, like firing. So all that to say, like, Metroid is great for kids. They love it. There are some intense things.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing with Metroid Prime 3. The graphics are really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, they're really good. They did a really good job with it. Even by today's standards, I would say, like, it's not that far off.
Yeah.
Like, I'm playing it on the Wii U. It came out originally on the Wii. I don't have a Wii that's functioning right now, so I'm playing it on the Wii U. And it looks really good. Even I would say by today's standards, it's not like ray tracing, it's not like Xbox quality of it, but it's good and it looks beautiful. So I'm really impressed with it even as it stands. I wish they had done more with some of the ship stuff. But overall, it's a great game, and I really, really, really hope that there is a remaster coming out soon, because that would be amazing.
I am looking forward to them remastering it and you buying it,
so you can borrow
me borrowing it, because that is a staple of our Metroid conversations. So
you know what? I hope that they do. I really do, because I think that people should be able to play this game because it is so stinking good.
Yeah.
It's really enjoyable. And as far as games go, it's not as quick as Dread, because you can beat Dread in like 4 hours.
If you hate yourself.
I got pretty close to actually beating it in under 3, but
that's just nuts.
I know, right?
That's nuts.
But I think how long to beat.com has it at like 17 hours for basic, 20 to 25, somewhere in that range for like completionist.
Yeah.
So it's a relatively quick
That's a pretty quick game
that you can play. And I actually scanned something in Metroid Prime 3 that references the Dread program, and I was like, what? Because
that's cool.
That was released in like 2008 originally.
So that was some future planning
like that's
by them.
really far in the future.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I don't, however that evolved from that, who knows?
Still
but
cool though, just to see the little.
You're on the space pirate
breadcrumb trail.
You're on the space pirate homeworld, and you scan something, and it mentions the Dread Project, and you're like, what?
Yeah, which like way back then meant nothing,
right?
And to you, the gamer, but
yeah,
now it does.
Now, really obviously, it was dealing with space pirates, and Metroid Dread doesn't have anything to do with space pirates, which is odd for a Metroid game. But Anyway, overall, highly recommend if you have any opportunity to find a way to play, any of the Metroid Prime games.
Yeah.
But especially 1 and 3. 2 is good. Again, I should probably go back and replay it. I know I just did, but I still have this thing about 2 that just irks me. Even though, like, I know I said on this podcast that, like, I enjoyed it, my most recent playthrough, but I feel like there's something in me that just can't say that I like Metroid Prime 2. There's something that keeps me from doing it. But yeah, I'm very close to beating 3, and I hope to do it soon. And I probably, now that I've talked about it on the podcast, I won't.
You won't. No, Josh finishes games now.
No, not after I review them. Like, that's the thing. If I talk about it on the podcast, if I haven't finished it, it's not getting done. Happened with Tears of the Kingdom. Happened with happened with so many games. Talk about it on the podcast, and I'm done with it now. So anyway, that's my review of Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Nice. Highly recommended. I think it's a great game and underrated in the trilogy.
I'll be honest. I'm gonna have to go back and play that. I did have so much fun with it, but also never finished it.
Yeah, see, I'm on the I was literally fighting before I turned it off last. I was fighting the last boss, and I kept dying, and I got it was dread induced rage, like dread level induced rage. I was so frustrated, so angry, because it's usually it's not as hard as dread, but there's just something about it where I'm just I cannot get to the point where I need to get to shoot this thing.
Yep.
At the right time, and I keep dying before I can do enough damage. So
I had so many times in that game where I text you and I was like, I hate this game. I hate you for giving me this game. I'm done forever. And then 5 minutes later, I was playing it again.
It's so good. It is so that's the other thing with Dread. It's so easy to pick back up and just start playing it again.
Yeah, I could see that.
It is so easy just to I'm just gonna play through Dread again. That game is a masterpiece in easy to play,
one of the things about
easy
Dread,
to pick up and play.
One of the things about Dread is once you figure out how to do something, I could turn it on now and go, oh yeah, that's right, that's how you defeat that enemy or whatever it is.
Well, and I've got to say, playing through it on hard right now, it's just been there have been a lot of just absolutely really, that's gonna kill me. That's what's happening here. That's what we're doing. Okay, got it. But I'm also finding that some of the boss fights are actually easier for me to do now, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm I can do that, and that will beat that thing. So anyway, that's gonna do it for me. Any thoughts, comments, anything else?
I have a question, but it's not about Metroid.
Okay, go ahead.
Now that your cast is off, are you ready to go ice skating again?
At some point in the future, absolutely, it will happen. I have every intention of getting back on the ice.
My son has been asking me lately. He's like, Dad, can we go ice skating again? And I'm like, yes, we can, buddy.
That's awesome.
Yes, we can.
No, that's one of those things where I have never... This was the first broken bone I have ever had in my entire life. I never want to do it again.
I'm good.
But I can't... I don't feel like I can let that stop me from going ice skating, right?
Right.
That can't be the thing that I go, no.
Yeah.
So yes, I have every intention of going ice skating again.
Nice.
Whether or not I do anything try to go fast is another that's another thing entirely. I don't think that I'm going to try to I might casually skate around,
leisurely stroll.
I probably was trying to go a little too quick, and it ended in just absolute disaster. So that we'll avoid. But
fair.
I hope to go again. Yes.
Nice.
So that, if we've got nothing else, is that all, gentlemen?
That's all I got.
That's everything.
Okay, good deal. So Palworld is good still, and you can play that on Game Pass, or you can pay $30 and have it and have some really good times with your friends on that. And Metroid Prime 3 Corruption is also a really good game that you should play if you have an opportunity. And hopefully we'll all have an opportunity soon when they release a remaster. Now that they've announced Metroid Prime 4, all I'm going to be doing is talking about them doing remasters for the other 2 Metroid Primes at some point. So that's...
Wait, is that a change?
Well, no, for the longest time, it was just me complaining about not getting Metroid Prime 4 because they announced it in 2017 and they're just now coming out with it after all kinds of just disastrousness. So now we just need the remasters of the other 2. Come on. Get on it, Nintendo, and then sponsor us.
Yeah. I'd be good with that.
All right.
So that's going to do it for this episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast. You can follow us on all the socials, and we're more active on some than others.
But like, comment, subscribe, read the blogs, follow the drama, vote in the polls, do all the things.
Do all the things.
That's right.
All the things. Do them, and we will catch you on the next episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast.
Bye.
See ya.